Okay, so I'm probably going to be using up a hell of a lot of my damn flash drives at this point over here. 7:42 at night, West Coast time, Saturday, the 9th of March, 2024. And we were John C. Roseman, California. You're a zombie out here in the armpit of the Antelope Valley. Yeah, that's me. Okay, so I was kind of responding haphazardly regarding a video from the Damage Report, another subsidiary of the Young Turks Network, independent network. That's all they are. Once in a while, some of them will actually get on the regular network and be a contributor once in a while when it comes out for politics. But the rest of the guys, they stay out of the limelight, but they are in their own limelight. So one of the videos that came out several hours ago on this particular date and time was Laura Trump officially snaps over MAGA lies and train wreck interview, according to the title. And Laura Trump trying to demonstrate how people are trying to gather forces in order to beat the evil forces of the Biden administration and anybody else that thinks like them. Because they'll be right, they'll be vindicated, they'll be righteous, they'll be what? Brainwashing? And then you have the Trumplicants following suit, saying, "Yes, yes, we'll be the yes man. We'll say this. We'll sing our songs. We'll do this. We'll do that." Blech. One of us listened to him like going through rotten teeth, aching like crazy. Counterculture, huh? Since when did these guys were a counterculture? Subculture, subdivided, and subjective. Anti-establishment. Well, my question: we know the history about establishment if we actually understood about history itself. Certain cultures of the youth had questions concerning about the older generation because we never could quite understand why the older generation was going through what they were going through. I don't know if there was actually actual rebellion about the 20s or 30s or 40s. Hard times during those days. Everyone had to stick together and they had to suck it up and just work like crazy. If you were financially insecure, but you did prospectives, future stocks, lost your asses off when the 29 crash came globally. There was reports of a lot of people killing themselves. They lost money. Money was their god. And then reality hit in. When financial toil took its toll, Mother Nature struck back one way or another. And people had to struggle and did what they could to survive. And it also took a war to get us into a murderous funk. But prior to that, we were trying to get jobs going. Even it had to be major constructive jobs that would forever alter landscapes left and right. But we needed the jobs. We needed power. We needed water. We needed something. So we altered. But then we had other countries struggling and decided that they want to have more than what anybody else has, so they're willing to take them. They're willing to build up the war machines and go after people left and right and declare themselves emperor or empress or, dare I mention the F word, if you're, or fascists or anything else like that nature. But we have to use them because it's in history and it's real, and we have that going on right now. And some are thinking of themselves still as gods and powerful deities in human form, and they're still doing that to this day. The politicians who get into power don't want to lose it. Screw the responsibility, they see the trappings of the damn thing. So now they get entrapped and they want more and more. It's worse than an opium den. say absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, you already had to be screwed up in the head to go for the absolute power, just to even get a taste of it. But then, how do you shake it off? Bad taste in one's mouth. Well, you want more and more of the damn thing. You're on a roller coaster from hell. Counterculture would mean that whatever what kind of upbringing we've had, lifestyle changes, forms, formats, whatever things I could try to use in place of the term culture. Counter to that is the antithesis of it, the opposite, the mirror image, an anathema. We were talking about the opposite of what is, and then for some of those youth who are getting sick and tired of the old, they want to see new. Well, they want to build new. They don't want to deal with conservatism. Conservatism works to a certain point, but after that point, things have to change. They don't understand that everything else is recycled. Life, the universe, everything else gets recycled, replenished, replaced. But on its own time, its own manner. Some things we want to conserve like crazy, but we may not be able to hold on to the past as much. Hold on to memories, yes, living our relics if we can, but we have to keep making records of everything. But we just can't hold everything in a static point, time and space. It just doesn't work that way. It just never does. But the youth want things different. They can't accept the new. So they have to rebel. And even some of the older farts are like, well, I don't like this. I want to rebel too. But I'm going to take from other people because why not? So now we got grifters using the countercultural movement as a way of stealing from folks. Hopes, dreams, finances, whatever. Get so successful about it that they think they're immune and invulnerable. But with the counterculture itself, we're looking at the old and we don't want it. We want new. We want the new now. If we won't get the now, we'll force it. We'll make a stink about it. We'll put you on video and become Karens or something like that. Or saying it doesn't apply to me. We are a sovereign citizen. How dare you? How dare I? How dare I talk about stuff like this? Because this might hurt people left and right. If I happen to come across something of this nature here, am I that so stuck in a certain wave, in a certain thought pattern and behavior that something beyond it just doesn't mean anything anymore? I'm looking at myself in life. But did I actually rebel against anything? No, because I struggled with everything. I struggled with trying to get jobs. I struggled with people itself. I didn't blame anybody else for it. I just had to struggle for survival. That was all it is. So I never got the countercultural mentality. I've read about it in about the 60s and 70s. People were experimenting with this. They're experimenting with that. They wanted to do this. They wanted to do that. They wanted to do the opposite of what everyone else was telling them to do. And what they were trying to do was go nuts, I guess. Hello. What's going on with you, Mama? Does countercultural thought patterns and behavior mean anything when you're taking care of things that matter close to the heart, home, and hearth? trigger words for myself. What's going on, Mama? I know the feeling. I'm going to be back over there in a few minutes. I'll be back over there in a few minutes, Mama. So, you say, you want to go run? Come on. Get your exercise on. She's going to do that for a few more hours, probably. Get her mojo going on that one. I read about the flower power, about the flower children out there, and then how the man stomped on them left and right. How our culture went after our countercultures left and right. We wanted things, we wanted equality, we wanted, and then we met the brick walls. The naysayers saying, no, you have to do this way because we tell you to. So the counterculture went nuts. The counterculture was going against man, the control, the actual absolute function, the rule of that time. So is that according to the same mentality we got right now when the Trumplicans are trying to do the same damn shit? But the difference is, if we're talking about political power or political control at this point over here, and how is it one particular political party that got hijacked and then mutated and changed into the Trumplicans? How are they considered a counterculture when they're trying to make their own establishment? Was the counterculture considered an establishment? I thought the usual establishment was something or someone else. So in that aspect, in response to that video that I was watching, I'm still trying to tear that thing apart in my head regarding it, because 80s we didn't see the counterculture. The 70s we probably saw portions of it, but we also saw fighting in the street for civil rights. I know that in the 80s they were struggling for identity, not to mention for something I hear in the Southern California region. I know we had gang fights like crazy. So we had fights. The establishment was law enforcement and the man and the legal thumb. But then again, we had the culture of the gang wars going on out here in Southern California. The colors, the meanings of them, territories, what drug and gang wars going on. In the 90s, we had a culture that got sick and tired of the man. One guy gets himself on tape by a person testing out his camera, and he captures the spark that ignited a riot that destroyed portions of LA County and maybe a few other places, but it spread like wildfire, different areas. The idea and idealism scared the hell out of people. Scared the hell out of people. But it was one particular culture that says we weren't going to take it anymore. We wanted to be heard. We wanted to be listened to. We wanted to respect. If we're willing to work with you, fine, we'll make the change. But man, we weren't going to take it lying down. And the one guy who got his ass beaten by this, who sparked it all, kept trying to tell people, can we all get along? Despite what kind of history this guy had. He was putting himself on camera once more, this time deliberately, and saying to people, can we all get along? After that, we tried to mellow it out a lot. Until we get into the race war again. And all hell breaks loose at different places, left and right. Anti-Semitism at that black places, Muslim places, Asian places, didn't matter where the hell it was. We still have it going, and we still have it ongoing. I know it's been for a long time, That's as much as my memory and my understanding of history goes, up until this point where we're seeing even worse. So my question is, what's the culture and what's the counterculture we're dealing with here? Are we dealing with racial hatred? Are we dealing with anger? Or are we dealing with frustration? We want revenge. We call it justice, but we actually call it retribution and beating the crap out of the other person. Let's call it the way it is. We don't like you. We're going to beat the hell out of you because we want to feel better for one sick reason in our head. So let's do something stupid on you. We hold it against someone else when they're trying to say, no, I'm against the damn system here. You just stole stuff here. You just blamed another guy for it. It's their fault that I stole. Why not? I can blame it because I'm a sovereign citizen. Sovereign citizen. Where the hell did that bullshit came from? People think that they're above the law, that they live under, exist under, born under. And unfortunately now they don't like the law anymore. They don't like the Constitution. They think nothing affects them because they call themselves a sovereign citizen. That's supposed to protect them. It's no wonder these guys are getting themselves in jail and wondering and screaming at people, how dare you? This is the system against us. That's the system. No, it's you didn't understand the damn system in the first place. See, if you didn't steal, if you didn't backtalk, if you weren't setting people up left and right because of your own stupidity, your own selfishness, this is what happens. The boomerang effect. You throw out the damn boomerang and it comes out and pops you upside the head on that one. Reminder. Construction of the boomerang itself. An ingenious device used for hunting. There are some people out there who can actually utilize that thing. But we verbally use it on a constant basis. And it always comes up and bites us in the ass, especially if we're doing recordings of any sort and we're trying to protect ourselves on this one, and we're basically burying ourselves alive with the same thing we keep throwing out to people, and it's coming back and hitting us upside the head. See, we don't need the physical item itself. We're doing fine with social media right now. Hello to the videos. Hello to the boomerang. Hello to the supposed objective form that turns right around and bites us in the ass. We are our own worst nightmare. So yes, I have to send this video out to these guys. I have to tell them about what we're dealing with here. There's no counterculture. There's just only head games. If they think they're the counterculture against what we've got right now, and their establishment is going to be the establishment, I hate to tell them, but the 1960s died out a hell of a long while ago. And during those times, we dealt with worse. Besides the racial tendencies happening left and right, and the beatings, and the denial of civil rights. Besides that, we also dealt with the Cold War that actually the thought or even the action of a nuclear bomb hitting or something else hitting us with nuclear tendencies was a hell of a lot worse, almost just as bad. Especially if you're in the 1 to 3 mile range of the damn blast wave. You get cooked instantly. After that, radiation burns. After that, you get the radiation from the fallout. You get the ill wind. That was mine. The Cold War status. That was the thing I was more afraid of. It wasn't the racial tendencies or hatreds that probably could have ended my life right there. No, I'm thinking about some other schmuck across the ways who's going to be killing me just by sending over some nuclear material to kill me. And when I discovered that they actually can make smaller bombs, how does that grab you? All the technologies we can make to kill ourselves. And learning more about that damn thing. What kind of nightmares did I have growing up as a kid? Oh, ill will. Of course, we could force feed ourselves with all the fictional fantasy movies left and right and the books. Try to either come up with a dystopia or we're coming up with maybe a bright utopia. But in between, keep putting your face under the covers and pray that you don't see the flash or hear the damn sirens going off. Oh, no, 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 that wasn't it. The sirens you were probably hearing was the police sirens in the fire department, and then the overhead helicopters with the damn spotlights, and the media trucks coming around trying to capture something on film for the latest news. Tell me, what culture and counterculture are we dealing with here? I gotta get these damn things cleaned up one more time. Ugh. So whatever the Trumps and the Trumpettes and the Trumplicates are saying, everyone's trying to get to this higher pinnacle and say, I know better. It's all your fault. I'm king here. King of the ego hill. And I'm supposed to listen to this fool, an idiot? All I know is just he's standing on top of a shit pile. Everyone else is climbing and sliming up on it, trying to be the king shit. I call it as I see it. I don't get the ratings. I don't get advertisers. So they're going to say what they're going to say. I sure as hell don't want Donald Trump sneakers. I don't want them. My feet can't deal with them. I got diabetic feet. I got shoes from Walmart and they suck. But they work. That's what matters. Other than that, that's my 2 cents into it.